Hey, what's up again everyone, and welcome back to part 2 of my Turn X review, and this time I'll be looking at the accessories, posability, and the quality. So getting right into accessories, and here's the Turn X with everything it comes with, and as you can see there's quite a lot of stuff here. All these parts over here on the left are for using with the included base over here on the right. As well as that, there's the carapace weapon platform, a bunch of weapons down here, a scale figure of Gingham, a very nice looking beam effect part, some alternate fingers for the manipulators, and an action base adapter. So taking a closer look at everything one by one, and first is the carapace weapon platform. And this has this little moving section up here for attaching the missile launcher. Down here is a little connection point for the hand beam gun. Also, like I mentioned in part 1, there are a lot of nice clear parts used in this which look really good. And this whole thing connects into the back of the Turn X at this section here. And to do that, you just slot it into the gray section here, and there you go. Next, a closer look at the weapons. And first we have the hand beam gun. This is quite plain, just made out of 3 small sections and is in solid gray. The missile launcher, like the handgun, is in solid gray as well. In fact, so are all the weapons. There's not much to say about this, it's pretty plain. Next is the beam rifle, and again not much to say here. It's all in gray. The grip here can slot in here for storage, but besides that, that's pretty much it. And finally there's the bazooka. I stuck a decal on here so you can see what that would look like with it on there, and even though it looks pretty cool, it doesn't distract away from how plain these weapons do look, compared to some other master grades, that is. To attach the weapons into the hands, you just attach the handle into the hand, it's that simple. And with the Turn X, this is the swappable finger type hand like on the wing and seed kits. All the weapons can be stored on the carapace weapon platform. For the rifle, just fold away the handle and it slots in there like that. Again, the same with the bazooka, in with the handle and it slots in to the right of the beam rifle. The missile launcher attaches onto this moving gray section over here. And the handgun attaches to this gray tab on the bottom left of the weapon platform. Next is the awesome looking orange beam effect part. This is one of the nicest looking beam effect parts I've seen come with a Gundam kit, and it's pretty big as well. And to attach that, it just slots into the center of the destruction manipulator, which looks awesome. Next is the action base adapter, and this isn't for using with the included base here, it's for using with a standard action base. Next are the swappable fingers, and we've got this holding hand for using with a rocket launcher, a fist, open spread fingers, and gun holding fingers for using with the bazooka, rifle, and handgun. And like with the wing and seed kits, that just slots into the hand like that. Next is the 1:100 scale pilot figure, and for a change this actually resembles the character it's supposed to. Pretty cool. And there is the Turn X with everything equipped, and that combo of the beam effect parts and that savage looking destruction manipulator looks absolutely epic. Last up is the included stand. A lot of recent kits have included a stand, which makes me very happy, and this can be used just like this to display the kit normally, or by using all these parts down here, you can display the Turn X with all its parts separated like this, which looks pretty cool. Now moving on to the posability, and one thing you'll notice first about the Turn X is that it has very little lateral movement at the hips, so this is as far down as it can go. Next is the squat, and again he can't drop down too low here. That unusual double leg joint doesn't help it much here, and the joint with the smallest range of movement is what you could consider the ankle. Pretty much the same story here with the side lunge, and here both the limited outward movement at the hip and the ankle over here as well is the reason it can't get that low in this pose. Its legs may not have the greatest articulation, but the upper section is actually quite good. And he aces this pose thanks to some great side-to-side articulation and that awesome pull-out shoulder joint. Sheer perfection here. And finally an aerial pose, and this is the aisle strike. And if those legs could spread out just that little bit more, the Turn X would be acing this pose as well. So basically, upper body great, legs still pretty good, just with restrictions at the hips and ankles. Just before I go any further, I apologize about the state of my hand. I had a bit of a mishap, and this crap will not wash off. But anyway, as for quality, the Turn X is an amazing kit. The smoky grey clear parts look amazing. The plastic on this kit feels quite soft and is really easy to clean up, more than usual I feel. As for the joints, for the most part they're all rock solid and tight, especially impressive for a kit that comes apart into pieces. But on mine anyway, there is one joint that is noticeably on the weak side, and that's on the right shoulder. As you can see, it can sag and fall quite easily. But most of the time, this isn't really an issue. As for loose parts, there are none. Seriously, I mean none. But for the majority of this review, I would have said that the backpack was an absolute scourge. But it turned out you really have to push this section on his back all the way in hard until it clicks, then you're gravy. And the last thing I'll mention is the lack of outward articulation at the hips. But this is more of a design issue, not a quality issue per se. So that's it for my review of the Turn X. And what can I say, this is a fantastic kit and totally worth the wait. It looks absolutely perfect, the colors are right on, and it doesn't really include any color correcting foil seals. The articulation is great for the most part besides those hips, and it's as solid as a rock. This is actually one of the few Gundam kits that I'm confident enough to the point that I'm not going to glue it all together. And that's saying something. And that included base is just icing on the cake. I highly recommend it, and so far it's the strongest contender for my #1 master grade of 2014. So thanks again for watching, and make sure as always to come back for more Gunpla reviews.